time to go get it. Go get it. Tunnel is the vision. Yeah. God is my witness. If I'ma go hard. Yeah. Since 1976, I've been the real one. 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 We've been down for so long. So long. Yeah. The only way to go is up. It's time to come up. I'm gonna come up. Grinding, 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 grinding. Keep grinding. Yeah. Keep grinding. Yeah. Keep grinding. Yeah. Keep grinding. Keep grinding.
And that's the hard part, you know what I mean? Because we're inspired by this, so we want to do something like that. But sometimes people don't care.
Hey man, I think it's rather unique how you left the job. Do you give God any credit for that?
I truly, it's too much to explain now. God had something for me before I was even here. That's why I was able to leave.
Okay.
And I knew, as far as my purpose and stuff, a lady, my oldest son's grandmother, before she even knew who I was, left her job to do real estate.
Yeah.
And she told her husband, and her husband wasn't a dream killer. He said, go do it. The first house he sold was my grandmother's house. They was moving black people out of poor part of Wilmington and moving to a better part. That was her first house she sold. When I'm 18, her husband tells me this whole plan that people should have to leave their job and go full time. When I'm 18, I never, you know, it's in my mind, but I don't think much of it.
Right. Years
Later, when I'm at LP, I said, I'm not gonna be long in 5 years. I'm gonna do what he said. I said, God, you said, test you with tithes and offerings. I said, every week, every pay period, I'm gonna give $100, and I couldn't afford it. I kept doing it. Sooner than supposed to, what's the name came to me and they moved me up before the other thing happened.
Yeah.
And I went from the little $10 to the $16. I got a $16 raise like that quick. Once I start, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kept moving. Then before I knew it, my truck was paid, all my stuff was paid off. All I had was utilities. And I'm like, but I don't have enough money to make a movie, do all of this and such, you know what I mean? Bruh, that house, come to find out my name was on the house. Come to find out the tax people called me. Come to find out my two cousins that knew me, everybody was staying there, the house needed to be, they couldn't do nothing, they had to sell it.
Yeah.
So when they sold it, I got my cut. That cut was enough for me to get a camera and to make my first movie. That was set for me before I even knew, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this was how ironic, that's my oldest son's grandmother that did that. And her husband didn't kill her dream, but he could have just said, no, we said something and killed, and none of this would be going on. You see what I'm saying?
Not this way anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But
not
you see
the
what
way
I'm saying,
that it happened. I do.
So I said, we got to be careful of the people we're around. We got to be careful of not taking a real leap of faith, having a place to leap from, not just, you know what I'm saying? But, because I never even told her that story. But a lot of this wouldn't happen, definitely this way, like you're saying, if she wouldn't took that leap. And I don't know who decided to tell my grandmother to put my name on the house. I had no idea. You know what I mean? So for my whole thing, that was all God. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Does having movies on Tubi and Prime, does that affect your confidence or your ego?
Do I feel like I've changed as a person because of that? Honestly, when we first started putting them on movies in Prime, people used to laugh. Like, Tubi, what is Tubi? Like, Tubi to us as filmmakers is just old. But to people that watch it, I realize it's still new and fresh.
Everybody watch Tubi now.
Yeah, but to us back then, I remember when it was Ad Rise. You know what I'm saying? I remember like all that, like it wasn't Tubi. I remember before it was bought by Fox, before they got the $5 million loan, it was a totally different place. And so, you know, people used to laugh and joke like, y'all on Tubi. And I think because of that, because it wasn't like, yo, you're on Tubi from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It never, you know what I mean? It never just really got to me, man. I was just more concerned about bills getting paid, this getting paid, everybody got what we need at the house. Well, what can we do type thing, you know what I mean?
Right. Do you direct all of your movies and film them and edit them? What's your role? Or do you have like a team that help you out?
I do all of them. I don't want to do all of them. It wasn't the plan wasn't for me to do all of them. It was just hard to find the right people to do it how I want it done. And I'm just getting to the point where I have other people. So there's 2 other people that work with me. They just finished their first film. And so this next project I'm about to work on next week, they're a part of that, and we're, you know what I mean, we'll just, I have people now with me now where I can give a breakdown, they can write a script, and it's not a lot, but we're growing in that area. I think if everybody goes in there like with the right intentions, I think you kind of automatically learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there's still a respect, like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what he's telling me, you know, but I want people to be, like, I'm still learning to let people be free and how to guardrail them a little bit without hurting them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta let people do their own thing. You gotta let people grow. You gotta let people work at Microsoft, but be Bill Gates. You know what I mean? Still,
figure things out.
Yeah, because he still came up with the whole concept, but he was working at their thing when he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Still give them that freedom to be that guy. You know, sometimes we will have a Bill Gates with us, but, you know, if they seem smarter than us in the area, we try to hold them down. But no, really giving people, I'm good, you know, and then I'm gonna be good. I don't care if I got to go back selling DVDs out the trunk, whatever. Like, it's gonna happen. You know
good.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So I tell people, you know, just really part of leadership, man, is allowing people to be free. You know.
That's right. I could respect that. You was talking about the movie that you're going to start next week. I was going to ask you what's next in store for Love Life Entertainment.
Well, movie-wise, is Beehive. We got some big plans and things, but I don't want to tell too much. But Beehive is a movie we're doing. Starred 3 female leads. Jaleesa, Madison, and Reese Cherry, 3 female leads. It's kind of like my version of Set It Off in 2023 in a way. It also stars.
And it's called Beehive?
Yeah, it's called Beehive. It also stars Diamond from ATL Crime Mob. Nakia T. Yeah, she plays Zeus. It also stars Nikki Natural on from Love and Hip Hop. She makes music too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but both of them star in it. Well, Nikki kind of co-stars. Diamond has like a big role in the film. She's kind of like the Black Barbie gangster, Black Barbie with a gun type thing.
I know you're excited about this one.
Oh yeah. I love like female leads, man, especially African American female leads, man, because I feel like African American females is like the biggest commodity in entertainment, but they get taken advantage of the most, bro. Like,
oh yeah.
Ain't nobody going to the club if they ain't there. Ain't nobody watching the movies, they ain't in it.
Right.
But they don't get paid the most, they don't get the recognition, they don't get the ownership, they don't get nothing, bro. And it's sad. I mean, kind of looking in the mirror, like as African American men, like what have we done exclusively just for Black women in that regard? But there's this, I don't know. I feel like
the game is changing, and you're a part of that change. You know what I'm saying? If you want to give Black African American women more roles, then it's a wave that's going on, and you're a part of that wave, man. And I salute you for that.
Thank you. That's good to hear, man. Damn, that's good to hear, man. It's like something's being done. I used to think about the opportunities with my daughters, you know what I mean, and just like, you know, everybody not looking at them as, you know, a stripper or something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're like, yo, no, I see an executive of a business, or I see a teacher, I see somebody I can trust my kids around. I like, you know what I'm saying? Well, we don't paint them images on them, and it's sad.
Oh yeah. Now, if a person wanted to start producing movies, is there any advice that you could give them to help them prevent setbacks? Do I have to make my own mistakes, or can you tell me some things that could prevent me from having a setback?
You can, there's ways you can go through it without having, I mean, of course you just get it right, but that you have to go through it to get understanding. Some people first movie do well and they think they got it figured out. No, it's just that movie at that time did well, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes you need that person to walk you through to hold up, don't go blowing your money. It ain't, you know what I mean? I have seen people make movies and seen movies do $100,000 in 3 months, then do $3,000 the next month. And they get that 100,000 thing, they taking over the world, that they ain't never see a movie come close to that again because they don't understand the system of how it works, you know? And so I think people really, one thing they really need is to get a mentor, but you got to understand that mentor, just not believe what they say, but know where they're coming from. Because there's some people that are very good, but they're like intelligent dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, man, I can go make a movie in 10 days. Well, 15 days. Write it from the idea to complete, and they think I'm completely crazy. You know what I mean? But that's just the world that you live in. So I think having a mentor is one big thing. The other thing I think is you got to make a decision that you're just not going to give up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Making that decision to never give up. You know what I mean? Like that's just because it's up and down. And your wave is different. Some people wave is slow and does like this. Some people wave is up and down. Thing is, you're gonna have this hockey stick. So like the struggle. Then once you find your pipeline, the way it flows, yeah. Once you find your pipeline, like what's working for you. The one thing we're not taught, and I'm trying to keep it to three things. One thing we're not taught is how to create systems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people are just good at that. So like honestly, the people that make the most money don't make movies. They create systems. They say, you good at this, you good at this, this. Let me connect this, but you need this. So during this period of time, if we can get this for this, then we can get this out of this. Boom, next thing. And they're just moving and making things happen. Like those like, they make the most money, but it takes a lot of knowledge, understanding people, relationships, trusting people, to get to that point. And so I think people try to get there tomorrow. That's why I said just be consistent and make up your mind and never get up. Then you turn around and look like, man, I've grown.
Look how far you've came.
And the third thing I say is the biggest thing that we don't talk about as African American filmmakers: money management.
Money management.
We don't African American would get some money, and you got to understand. We create money and things and Cash App and all this as like idols, you know, but really they're just tools. And once you realize they're tools, you realize you need to make a strategy to use it. You know, like gas has people scared to drive and leave their house.
Oh yeah.
Well, you living your life wrong. You scared. Gas is a tool to make. You doing the wrong stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if
yeah.
gas got you scared to leave the house, you know, there's people.
The price of gas.
Yeah. Credit and all this stuff have people scared, and they like, well, if I get my credit straight, if I go work and pay these people money, then they would tell somebody, and somebody's subjective opinion to a point will give my credit this score, so I can go ask somebody else to borrow some money. And they're saying, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like really, these are just tools. And once you realize there's tools, you realize there's a strategy to make $1 million and use your credit to do it, but your credit is gonna have to be your credit end up being a 520. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But there's a strategy where you can make $1 million, and some people know that strategy, but their credit would be 800.
Right.
Because you kind of see, it's like, it's just a tool to use. And I think once you understand that, then you can understand money better and not, oh my God, your bank account for this project gets low, then you're afraid. No, okay, the bank account for this project is only at X amount of dollars. You got 9 times that invested in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people want to hold on to money, but it's really about making money move, putting in a little bit in stocks, putting in this, that's why I keep putting money in the movies, because it keeps, you see what I'm saying? It's this stigma, or I don't know, it's like this spirit we have where we're fine giving $200 to a bill, but are fine giving $200 to something that doesn't bring a return, but we won't put it into an investment. Like, you know,
Right.
That should be your first move.
Indeed.
You know, some people, some dudes are smart. They just smart with money. They make movies and they say, yo, only make this much money off these movies, is fine, but this movie pays this bill.
Oh yeah.
So there's a guy that makes this movie, and that movie, all the money for that movie goes towards his car. There's a guy who makes another movie, and he said he's not making a lot, but he's making $2,000 or $3,000 every quarter off the movie.
It's a purpose. For that.
Yeah. And this movie pays for it. This
Oh, yeah.
movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how he manages his money. Some people, they make a movie, they chilling. They're a star, and they just post it online, and the money just withers away. Now they have to borrow money again. And that's why when people keep borrowing money for movie, I don't want to work with you, because you ain't
Right.
doing something right.
Right.
You ain't, you know what I mean?
Did you learn from trial and error, or did you have mentors to help you out as well?
Yeah, some was trial and error. I had a problem finding mentors, I think just because of this area. And there's a program I recommend people do called SCORE. Just SCORE Mentor. And there's men that have been in business. There's like thousands of them that have been in business. And they will meet with you on a Zoom or on a call once a week or once a month to mentor you with your business.
Is this SCORE an acronym, or is it just called SCORE? Is it periods in the?
No, it's called SCORE, but I think it's still an acronym, but they just don't.
Is it based in Wilmington?
It's all over the country, but they have them in different areas. So they have one here, they got one in Atlanta, they got one like in Raleigh. It's like, because it's virtual, you may be working with somebody that's in California.
So somebody can give you business advice from SCORE.
Yeah, like that's what they do it for free. You don't pay for it.
That's
and I
interesting.
had one. Yeah, I had one for 2 years, and I'm surprised there wasn't a lot of us there. Like, a lot of us didn't know.
Oh yeah.
But everybody else knew. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
it's a lot of those things a lot of us don't know.
I highly recommend that. So like most of us trial and error and listening. I'll say indirect mentorship, people just schooling, you know what I mean, being around them, but an actual mentor that I met with gave me business plans and things like that and helped me with advice. SCORE was a good program, man, that you can get for free. All you gotta do is call. You can meet with them one time, or I met with them once a month for a year, almost 2 years.
Okay. Minus Beehive, because that's what you're working on next. Of the movies that you produce already, do you have a favorite of any of those movies? And if you do, why?
Dear Younger Me is my favorite movie. It was wild. It's my worst performing movie. But yeah, it is definitely my favorite movie because I felt like that's probably the closest that I did what I wanted to do with the film. You know what I mean? It was my story. I invested. I paid for the whole thing. All the decisions, everything was just like, and I felt like I was in my element. But it taught me a lot because there were certain marketing strategies and things. It taught me marketing started with the script. It didn't start once the movie was done. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And I don't mean promoting. I'm talking about as you write the script, you are marketing the movie. You have to make it. You're writing the trailer how it needs to be as you're writing the script. You're writing parts of the movie. You're writing like the character, things that need to be that's going to help the movie sell. You have to write that while you're writing the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it taught
even
me
though that's not in the movie.
Yeah. Like, you know what I
you
mean?
have to write that too.
So it just taught me, you know, that big lesson, and that's why it's my favorite. Even though I think the work and the story is my favorite, that's probably the biggest lesson I learned.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate you coming out and especially giving a person like me an opportunity. This interview is going to be called Keep Grinding. You know, so I'm gonna interview people that I see that's grinding, and I'm gonna encourage them to keep grinding, and I'm gonna keep it, you know, like it's a little. I'm gonna make it personal for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that, man. It's so easy for people to kind of jump in. The only thing that separates us is being who you really are. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be your thing. You know what I mean? Just being yourself. That's why I ever tell people it's not even hard anymore, really, if you be yourself. It's hard for the people that's being fake.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Because nobody can do that. You know, back in the day they had this stigma and this one pipeline, but now with the internet you can. You know, there's a million yous that want to hear your voice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But because there wasn't 20 million, the corporate people didn't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
man, I'm glad you have something to say because my little tiny little audience, they gonna learn something.
Don't say that. No, because we're speaking things over our life, and we got to speak like these things where we're going. We have to believe it. You know what I mean? Like when you believe, you stretch that thing. I love when Steph Curry said, like, stop shooting from the three-point line. Shoot under the goal, and take a step back, shoot another one. Because what happens is, when you shoot that first one, you believe you can take a step back and shoot another one. You know what I mean? Shoot next, you know what I mean? But when you're just throwing it from half court, you're just like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But you prep yourself. So we always got to realize that we're going to get to where we are. No need to speak it because we believe. You know what I mean? We believe it.
That's right.
I'm going to have a system where 10 movies are made a day.
Wow.
Are going to be completed. Whether it took them a year to make them or took them 3 months to make those 10, every day before I'm dead and gone, there'll be a system that is doing that. And people in the area, if you're a veteran with an idea, you're gonna be able to go to a place with lawyers and people and sit down with you with your interests and take your idea and bring it to life. And whatever comes of it, you'll be able to get some income off of it. It won't be some idea that you take to the graveyard.
That's
you know what
right.
I mean? The guy that just got out of prison, that got his script, and nobody wants to mess with him, can't get no job. There's a place he can literally go to, take his script. They will help him get his script together and take him through the system, you know what I mean? And walk him through to make sure he can, you know what I mean? The guy in the wheelchair, the guy that lost his wife, the guy that lost his job, the homeless guy that got this crazy idea can walk in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe only get a check that can get him some food, but he may, like some of these checks, change your whole life in 2 months. I tell people all the time, you have to keep grinding. Right now, So for example, if everybody keeps grinding, it's just the way God has it. A door opens. So if you're a writer, keep writing, there's gonna come an opportunity. If you're looking, there's gonna come an opportunity, a pipeline for you to put those. That ain't the time to be like, well, he only giving me certain. Man, you've been writing these scripts for 5 years. You haven't sold one of them. These people are give you $60,000 for 5 of them.
Right.
Give them 5 scripts, take that 60,000.
Hey, bro, you absolutely
what I'm
right.
saying?
You absolutely right. Cause I probably got 15 albums, and ain't made $1,000 off near one of them.
Loyalty and there's business and and there's a balance with it. But I think all of that is squashed with communication. Really sitting down, people really being open, people really being honest. Like, this is what we're trying to do, this is what we're trying to make happen. I think this opportunity is better. What do you think? You know what I mean? And trust my opinion. Like, a man can do that. Like, I don't do business with people that worry about the other man's hand. You know what I mean? If you got this car and you built the car for $3,000, you trying to sell it for 10, you sell it for 10, but he sell it for 60,000. Well, that's his bit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't hound him, be mad and say no. Like, that's his strategy. That's his network. And that's just like here, actors, like the network here for actors, there's no network for them to really take it seriously. If you ain't filming with me or 2 or 3 other people, you probably ain't in a movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? You going
Right.
to Atlanta somewhere, and you have to accept that and learn how to work that in. You can't get mad at Wilmington and get mad at everybody else.
Nah.
You have to, you know what I mean, fit that in your thing. So I think it boils down to accountability, man. And once you're accountable, you can start believing in yourself and trusting, man. I don't know what it is, but Miles Monroe said, God said, master something, multiply it, then manage it in the world. When you do that, you change as an individual. You know what I mean? That's the part people miss. Like, when you really go out there and try to learn and figure it out versus trying to skip, like, you actually, if your heart's in the right place, I feel like you become a better father. You still make mistakes, but you know what I mean? You become a better brother, better person in the community. Like, I just think if you just try real hard, all of it changes, man. Like, you as a person.
Man, I just drove an hour to meet you, Red. And I drove an hour here because I really believe in you, man. And I also believe in myself. I know that I'm doing this for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just happy that you gave me an opportunity, because I don't know who I'm going to interview next, but I know I got Nakia T. Hamilton. That's right.
That's what's up.
That's right.
What's up, man? I appreciate it, man. I needed that too, man. I was just working. I need to step out for a minute.
All right, thank you, bro.